Good day, my name is Isitu Mokwena and I'll be doing a short poem analysis on the poem London by William Blake. A brief description of what was happening in this time is that London was going through the Industrial Revolution, which is characterized by the transition from handicraft economy or manual labor to it being dominated by industry and machine manufacturing. The first poetic device I'll be discussing is repetition. In the second stanza, we see that the word every is repeated in line 5, 6, and 7, which means that everyone is included, no one is left behind. It emphasizes inclusivity that from adults to the smallest children, everyone is unhappy and everyone is in despair. The second poetic device is metaphor, which is in line 8. Here we see that the people's minds are being compared to manacles. Just as manacles confine and restrict the prisoners' movements, so too are the minds of the people at that time restricted into working a certain way because they are desperate to survive. Therefore, this shows that the people in power have confined and restricted the people's minds into working and thinking a certain way. The third poetic device that I will be discussing is rhyme. In this poem, we have the alternate rhyme, which means that in every stanza, the first and third line rhyme, the second and fourth line rhyme. In the rhyme scheme of this poem emphasizes the message that the poet is trying to convey of how London has changed and how it is being destroyed by the people in power, because not only are the natural things such as the river being controlled into changing into the way in which living has modernized into, but also the people are so unhappy, right? And then the fourth poetic device that I will be discussing is imagery, which means that language that appeals to the five senses. Throughout the poem, we see what the poet or the speaker sees, what he hears when he is painting an image of how people are desperate to be saved from despair. The third stanza tells us how slavery occurs in places of authority, and the entire poem is painted to show the pain, the sorrow, and misery of how London is being destroyed by the people in power. Thank you.